Hello, greetings everyone, and welcome to another edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. I'm Craig Nolan. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Daniel Pineda.
And it's our post Labor Day show for 2019.
No more vacation for the kids, right?
And kids back in school.
Back
our
to school.
post opening day of school show for 2019. Thanks for joining us, and we'll give you a quick rundown here as what's coming your way on,
Yes, sir.
on this week's edition. News, always got to have the news. And well, as you may have noticed, our compatriot and friend down there on the end, Miss Adele, is she's elsewhere tonight. She couldn't be with us
On
tonight.
assignment. She's on assignment
Well, I guess she's
this
on assignment.
week.
She's
yeah.
somewhere, but she's not here. So we'll give her the night off, and hopefully she'll be back next week with another installment of
It's Easy Being Green.
We thought we'd do that just as a tribute
We
to
miss you, Adele.
Adele, so come back when you're ready, when you can. CBB, Community Bulletin Board file, is coming your way. Also, Denise Pringle, our theater reviewer, and she's going to be talking about Cabaret tonight. Our News for Seniors segment, and then roll in from our Styrofoam mom, Miriam Gennari, and another installment of her Sustainable Scoop. And that's our show, but before we begin, a little social media reminder from Senior Pineda.
We always need social media. Well, Craig, you
will.
can watch the Arlington Weekly News on our very own YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Arlington Weekly News and the number 1. Also, facebook.com/Arlington Weekly News. And we can't forget the radio, right, Craig?
Also on the radio, we are in your ear. The audio from this little program here, Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News, can be heard on WERA 96.7 LP FM. So check it out. We're
Check it
in
out.
your ear. Here we go, the first of our news items. Well, here's an update. We would be remiss if we failed to acknowledge that Arlington County finally managed to complete the painting of the crosswalks at Swanson Middle School as of Friday morning, 3 days after the opening day of school. Now perhaps they can get around to fixing some signage at the intersection of Lee Highway and I-66 at the ramp there that leads up to 66. The red paint has been missing for quite some time now. Despite notifications that the sign may confuse drivers unfamiliar with that intersection, it now appears to encourage a right turn onto oncoming one-way traffic, which is not good. So hopefully they'll get that straightened out soon. Sooner than later. Daniel.
And Craig, now on to our second news story for tonight. Speaking of signage, the old Jefferson Davis Highway signs on Route 1 are now being replaced by signs reading Richmond Highway. Although some commenters have complained about the cost, there is certain logical benefit to the change. Drivers unfamiliar with the area who want to go to Richmond will now have some guidance. It's similar to some of those in the Leesburg Pike signs along Route 7 that tell drivers that the road will take them through Leesburg. Naming major roads based on their destinations makes the most sense than naming them after dead people, correct?
Okay. More on that as we go through this renaming process here. Also on our news items, well, ARL Now has reported the filming of a portion of a new television reality show at a location here in Arlington. The crew recorded some scenes in the private dining room of Texas Jack's, which is a barbecue restaurant in the Lion Park area, sort of near the area where Whitey's, if you remember, Whitey's used to be there at the intersection of Washington Boulevard and Pershing. The show will reportedly be about the D.C. area young professionals. The show will feature other locations as well, including the Washington Monument. Maybe it's too much to ask for a television show that is specifically about Arlingtonians, but it was really necessary to feature, take two, but was it really necessary to feature a venue that references Texas in its name? We'll find out. As far as Arlington is concerned, this is not the best promotional tool, Daniel.
And Craig, we always complain about there's not good news in our strips and what have you, but here is some happy news, about a story we featured earlier this year. The Arlington Independent Bookstore, One More Page, has reported that their August auction raised enough money to bring their accounts current. The auction was proposed after the company's rent was increased based on change to Arlington's real estate valuation. The online auction raised a total of $20,374.32, just passing its stated goal of $20,000. We here at the Arlington Weekly News congratulate One More Page on their success and hope that the spirit of community generosity will linger on through the Arlington Independent Media Fund Drive scheduled for September the 30th through October the 13th.
All right. Thanks, Daniel. And we'll be back with CBB coming up here on one of these cameras right after we have a roll-in as we call them here in the news business. Check it out.
Hello, this is Hef Munson coming to you from the wonder that is the Bluemont Trail. This is another one of those things in everyday Arlington. It's free. It's one of those things that you may already know is there, but you keep forgetting about. And it's a perfect place to go. You can walk, you can bike, you can do all manner of things. You can see dogs when there are dogs here. You can see people pushing prams. Oddly enough, they sometimes have little parades of the children. Halloween, they have costumes. And up and down this stretch, there's usually something going on, especially during the weekends.
The Bluemont Trail has a history that ties in with the town of Bluemont, Virginia, but it didn't start out that way. The town itself was originally named Snickers Gap, after Edward Snickers, who operated a ferry across the nearby Shenandoah River. Really? It was in 1807. You can't make this stuff up. Later on, in 1826, the town was incorporated under the name of Snickersville, which must have seemed like an improvement at the time. Then, in 1875, the Washington and Ohio Railroad came and brought vacationers seeking the cooler climate of the Blue Ridge Mountains nearby. Soon thereafter, several resort hotels were set up to accommodate the visitors. Next thing you know, well, around 1900 actually, the railroad management decided that Snickersville didn't sound posh enough, so they petitioned the Postal Service to change the name of the town to Bluemont. In 1911, the Washington and Old Dominion Railway was formed and operated between Bluemont and Alexandria. The next year, the Bluemont Junction Line was constructed to join with another railroad, thus extending service all the way into Georgetown. Then, as most people know, the cars came, and everyone started driving instead of taking the train. After 1968, the rails were removed, but the trail remains. Pretty, isn't it?
So, by all means, or by whatever means seems reasonable, come and check it out. It is a part of Arlington. It's part of what your tax dollars probably paid for already, so you might as well come and enjoy it. I'm signing off now. I'm not going to tell you again who I am, but there won't be a quiz. The important thing is to come and enjoy everyday Arlington.
Enjoy every day, Arlington.
Enjoy Arlington every day,
Yeah.
Arlington, and Arlington every day. Thanks, a little feedback there. Thanks, F. And yes, there's an incredible offering of parks all over Arlington. So get out there and enjoy them. All right, here we go. As promised, now our CBB Community Bulletin Board file. Item number 1. Well, Clarendon Day is returning once more to our original downtown area, Clarendon. One of Arlington's most popular street festivals, Clarendon Day, is a great way to experience a lot of different things. Let me go to the hard copy here. There we go. What the area has to offer. Come check out some of Clarendon's best restaurants, businesses, musicians, craft beers, arts and crafts vendors, and a whole lot more. There'll even be a children's play area so your little ones can enjoy themselves as well. This event is free and it's coming up on Saturday, September 21st from 11 till 6 p.m. near the Clarendon Metro Station located at 3100 Wilson Boulevard. Clarendon Day is coming your way. Check it out. Daniel.
Well, Craig, you can't beat free, right?
Can't beat free.
Well, now on to our second CBB story for tonight. Here's a chance to get a taste of Germany right here in Arlington. Arlington's Rocklands is teaming up with Alexandria Port City Brewing Company for an Oktoberfest celebration. They'll be celebrating with some great beer and barbecue. You can even test your endurance in a Bavarian beer stein hoisting competition, where contestants compete to see who can hold a full beer for the longest without spilling. This all takes place on Saturday, September the 21st from 12 to 6 p.m. That's at the Rocklands Barbecue and Grilling Company, located at 3471 Washington Boulevard. So it's a great way for Germany to come here in Arlington.
Tasting and testing, they're kind of the same things
Yes.
when it comes to beer, I guess.
Absolutely,
There
yes.
we go.
We have to taste
Also
test
on
it.
our CBBBBB items, do you ever wish you could enjoy your favorite foods without worrying about your diet? Well, check out this event. You can come to this event for teens and make miniature versions of your foods and make them out of clay. It may not taste quite the same, but it certainly will be fun. All materials will be provided. Please note that all models will need to be completed at home by baking them in your oven. This is an FREE free event taking place on Tuesday, September 24 from 4:15 to 5:15 in the afternoon. And the shop at the Arlington Central Library. They're located at 1015 North Quincy. Daniel.
You're getting all the great stories about these free events, Craig. I want some of that.
You gotta have one.
Yeah, somewhere here.
Somewhere in there.
While having trouble with your homework, need a quiet place to study and just chill, relax. This event is just what you need. Homework Hyuga is a space where you can come in and relax while you work on your assignments. Hot chocolate and coffee will be provided to give you that necessary energy, and crafts will be provided if you need to take a break. Come to this event that'll take place on Tuesday, September the 24th at 3:30 to 5 p.m. in the Campbell Room in the Shirlington Branch Library. That's located at 4200 Campbell Avenue. And as always, we want to thank our own Jordan Kuharski for this week's CBB Stories. Thank you, Jordan, for all your hard work and dedication.
You bet. We appreciate it. Thanks, Jordan. All right, news for seniors coming your way. Don't go away right after we hear from our movie reviewer, Denise, and her thoughts on
Denise.
Cabaret. Here's Denise.
Olney Theater Center opens its 82nd season with Cabaret, the candor and ebb tale of decadence and debauchery set in 1930s Germany. The play follows American writer Clifford Bradshaw as he travels to Berlin on a New Year's Eve, takes lodging in Fraulein Schneider's boarding house, and meets British singer Sally Bowles, who headlines the Kit Kat Club. The plot centers on the love story that develops between Cliff and Sally, and that of the older couple, Fraulein Schneider and Herr Schultz, the Jewish fruit vendor who lives in one of her rooms. However, it's impossible to take your eyes off the flamboyant MC of the Kit Kat Club. Mason Alexander Park sings and struts across the stage as he greets the audience with Willkommen and introduces the Kit Kat girls and boys. With a dozen or so racy wardrobe changes by costume designer Kendra Ray, outrageous spoken double entendres, and musical numbers with Sally, the Kit Kat chorus line, and even a girl in a gorilla suit, Park gives a mesmerizing performance. Gregory Mayhew as Cliff and Alexandra Silber as Sally are the young mismatched couple who fall in love but fail to really connect. Cliff recognizes the ominous direction of the Nazi Party, but can't convince the pregnant Sally to follow him to Pennsylvania and a fresh start. When she sings the title song, Sally is trying to convince herself that remaining within the confines of the seedy nightclub is the right choice for her. Donna Migliaccio as the downtrodden Fräulein Schneider, suggests one of the many Germans who did nothing to oppose the atrocities of the Nazis. Mitchell Hebert, as the victimized Herr Schultz, is ever optimistic. As a German, he thinks the political scene will soon change for the better, a thought that probably cost millions of German Jews their lives as the Nazis rounded up and murdered them in death camps. Director Alan Paul adeptly balances the bawdy excessive entertainment aspects of the first act with the darker political messages of the second. Scenic designer Wilson Chin illuminates his set with opulent crystal chandeliers, while a mirror reflects the orchestra. Music director Christopher Eustra is responsible for the score's exhilarating sound, while choreographer Katie Spellman gives the players their provocative moves. See this excellent production of Cabaret at Olney through October 6th. Enjoy its dazzling song and dance numbers, but don't let them blind you to the possibility that fascism festers in our own country. I'm Denise Pringle. Now back to the news desk.
What good is sitting alone in your room? Come hear the music.
You're feeling it
play.
today, huh?
Life is a cabaret, old friend. That's good stuff there. Thanks,
That's
Denise.
great
We
stuff.
appreciate it. And her thoughts on Cabaret. Check it out and
Check it
stop
out.
in and see it if you have a chance. All right. Here we go. As promised now, news for seniors glasses. And away we go. For individuals with dementia, transitioning to a long-term care setting can be rather difficult. Well, Lindsay Vajpayee from Insight Memory Care will share important communication tips. She will also suggest some reassuring approaches to help ensure a stress-free transition and adjustment. This is coming up on Tuesday, September 17, 1:30 in the afternoon at Lee Community and Senior Center. They're located at 5722 Lee Highway. For information and to register, give them a call at 703-228-0555. Daniel.
Well, if you would like to stay in your home after retirement, a few simple changes could make your house safer to live in. Members of the FAA Design Build will discuss possible home improvements. These will range from practical updates to full remodels and can help you keep you in your current home. That all takes place on Friday, September the 20th at 10 a.m. That's at the Walter Reed Community and Senior Center and located at 2909 16th Street South. If you need to register or to register at all, give them a call at 703-228-0955.
And Daniel, also in news for seniors, well, Claire Rubin, author of Emergency Management, The American Experience, will discuss disaster events that have affected the metropolitan area. She will discuss many history-making disasters and bring up questions about where and why they happened. She will also offer suggestions on how to prepare for the future. This is coming up on Friday, September 20 at 1:30 in the afternoon at our Rory Hills Community and Senior Center, and they are located at 735 18th Street South. For more information and to register, give them a call at this number on your screen now, 703-228-5722. Daniel.
And Craig, our last senior stories for tonight. Learn low cost and easy ways to reduce energy use. Volunteers from the Virginia Cooperative Extension's Energy Masters will share simple tips that both homeowners and renters can use to decrease energy and water usage, lower their bills, and even feel more comfortable in their homes. This all takes place on Monday, September the 23rd at 1 p.m. That's at the Lee Community and Senior Center located at 5722 Lee Highway. To register, call them at 703-228-0555.
And finally, Daniel, in our news for seniors, well, NVSO, the Northern Virginia Senior Olympics, began Saturday, September 14. Will begin and will continue through Saturday, September 28. AWN's Mary Fantuccio, who's back there in the control room as we speak at the audio board, and Judy Masabny will be competing in various contests and events For a complete schedule of all the events and locations, you can check out their website at www.nvso.us. All events are open to the public. And as always, thanks to Judy Basabny of OSAP, Office of Senior
Thank you,
Adult
Judy.
Programs, for sending us these News for Seniors stories. We appreciate it. Thanks, Judy. All right, as promised now, here's another installment of from our Styrofoam mom, Miriam Gennari,
Miriam.
and her Sustainable Scoop. Check it out.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. My guest today is Stuart Rosenthal. He's the publisher and editor of the Beacon newspaper. So great to have you back, Stuart.
Thank you, Miriam. It's great to be here again.
Well, we're celebrating this time, another expo coming up, but it's your 20-year anniversary.
That's right. It's very exciting for us to be able to do that. It's amazing how many years have gone by so fast, but we really look forward to these events because it gives us a chance to really interact face-to-face with our readers. You know, so many people who, we print the papers, we distribute them throughout the area all year long, but once a year we get to meet them face-to-face, and that's always fun.
And boy, do they show up. What a production.
Yes.
It's a combination of referrals and advertisers and vendors.
And
all
government agencies and nonprofits, all
Right.
kinds of useful resources are there.
Right, right, and it gets bigger every year.
Yeah.
And this year you're doing something very special with Giant Foods. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's right. They'll be providing not only our regular flu vaccine, we usually have the regular and the high-dose flu, but they're also bringing tetanus, pneumonia, and Shingrix, the shingles vaccine, for people. And that's very unusual to be able to get all of those things at one event. You can't get them all at once, of course, but to have all of them available is going to be very nice and exciting for our attendees.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think that, medical professionals have done a great job of encouraging people to get the flu vaccine. Pneumonia is a nightmare.
Right.
But what I have heard about getting shingles makes me say that I think you're going to get a really big turnout.
It's something you don't want to get as a disease. That's quite right.
Right, right. And so their insurance will work at these...
If they have Medicare, bring your Medicare card.
Okay.
It'll be covered by, I believe, everything by Medicare. If you're not eligible for Medicare, but you have insurance, bring that card. And it usually covers the bulk of it, and there might be a copay depending on your plan, that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Well, it's really great that you have your finger on the pulse of the needs of seniors. I mean, that's really what you do every
Right.
month when you put out your paper.
All right, that's our job.
Right, and I know a big part of the stories that you tell have to do with medical updates and innovations, and your guest speaker is really cutting edge in the medical industry on CBD and cannabis.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, there's been so much in the news lately about the availability now of medical cannabis in Maryland, in D.C., and coming possibly to Virginia. Virginia is starting to play with the idea. They're going to have, for this first coming year, a trial run in a few locations to make medical cannabis and CBD available to Virginians.
I didn't know that.
Yes, it's been approved by the Cannabis Commission, I believe, in Virginia.
Wow.
I think there'll be a location in Manassas when it's all said and done. But that's going to be something that our speaker talks about. What will be available, what people need to know about it, what is it for, what is it not for, who is it good for, who is it not good for, and what's the truth about the research, what we know and don't know about these substances right now.
Well, I think it's really important to hear it from a medical doctor, and Dr. Mintz didn't always believe in cannabis.
That's right. Our cover story in September is about him and how he came around to it. He was an internist. He was a professor of medicine at George Washington University, and he had a practice on the side. And then when he retired from teaching, he moved to another location, and it so happened in that building where he moved, there was opening of one of the first dispensaries for medical cannabis. So we got to know the people there, and he talked with them, and he had patients who were coming to him with these kinds of issues, aches and pains, difficulty sleeping, anxiety. And he said, well, let's see how this works. And he started prescribing tinctures and pills, things medicinal. He says, I dose it like a medicine. I don't treat it like recreational drug.
Right.
And no smoking because smoking's not good for you, period. Right. So he's come around and sees that there are a lot of cases where it's very helpful and has fewer side effects and fewer interactions with medications than other drugs that he would otherwise give.
That's fascinating. So it's news, but there's a lot of crossover here,
Yes.
too, on the medical side. And also something that you cover a lot, aside from medical, is you talk a little bit about financial planning and retirement planning. And you know, as I get closer and closer to 50 this year.
Really?
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You can read the Beacon.
I've been reading the Beacon. I've been, don't tell anybody, but I can be in the Senior Olympics next year. Yeah.
Yes.
But more importantly, you know, I start to think about retirement and the cost of health care and those types of issues.
Making your money last all these years that you're going to probably have in front of you.
So the thing that I love is that you can read an article and sometimes it spurs action. And so that's so wonderful about having the resources available on the paper so that there are people that you can pick up and call for a numerous amount of things that seniors might be looking for.
That's right. So in addition to the health stories and the financial stories, of course, we have travel and the arts and housing section every quarter. So we try to cover the groundwork of what people need to know to help them age healthily and happily.
And the expo is going to be big this year. You're going to do it again at the Springfield Town.
That's right, on Sunday, September 22nd, from noon to 4. It's totally free. There's also going to be a shredder truck provided by AARP, so bring your items that need to be shredded.
Oh, that's
charge
great.
for that.
That's great.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay.
And then we're going to have it 2 weeks later in Maryland at the Silver Spring Civic Center on Sunday, October 6th, also from noon to 4. So if you miss it in Virginia, or if you liked it so much you want to come again, you can come back 2 weeks later.
Oh yeah,
to
you
the one in
can't get
Silver
to
Spring.
everything. Absolutely. And then I understand, because I really loved your work last year at the Expo on the arts.
Yes.
So you are going to bring that back, right?
Yes, we had a wonderful celebration of the arts last year, and you're remembering that we awarded the winners at the Expo.
Yes.
Now this year it's somewhat different, because this year we took a year off. We're going to announce in October, you're getting the scoop here on the Sustainable Scoop,
You got it.
that we're going to have a 2020 celebration of the arts.
Awesome.
And we're going to start announcing it in the paper and encouraging people to take up a new art, try a new skill, photography, poetry, sculpture, painting, drawing, any of those things. And then as of January 2020, we're going to open up for competition, and people will enter their items. And then for the month of May, which is Older Americans Month, we have the gallery in downtown DC, the Pepco Edison Place Gallery, for the whole month for our winners show.
So I bet you're going to have more information on this on September 22nd.
Yes, at the Expo.
Right, at the Expo. So I want everybody to make sure they go there. And how do they get in touch with you?
You can call us at 301-949-9766.
If they want to advertise?
Yeah, or you could look us up online. We have the Beacon Newspapers with an S at the end, .com.
Excellent.
And yes, we have a little bit of space left for exhibitors.
Wonderful.
And we'd love to have everybody who can make it come and bring their friends.
Well, I want to thank you again for coming and keeping us informed and for the work you do, keeping all of Northern Virginia, D.C., Baltimore, Richmond, all these areas and their seniors up to date on the news.
Thank you, Miriam.
Thanks, Stuart. And I want to thank all of you for watching this edition of the Sustainable Scoop. I'm Miriam Gennari. Back to the news desk.
Thank you, Miriam.
All right, thanks, Miriam. And before we go, just a little reminder
Yes.
about...
Well, as this tape date, which we air on Wednesdays, we just wanted to say today we pray for those who lost their lives on September the 11th and honor those great first responders. Sad that this happened 18 years ago.
18 years ago. So, okay, thanks, Daniel. And that's about it for us from here for now. So next week, if you're out there, we'll be here and we'll try it out again. Have a safe week. Bye-bye.